Next question, BB. He's got multiple questions. I wouldn't expect anything less from BB. What's up, BB? He says, I know that it is not the proper way to do press releases like PR stacking, but how do you think Google treats a site that has 20 press releases linking to it with different text, but each PR has 2 links with different anchor text, but with the same, I guess, URL maybe? Meaning 20 PRs with 2 links with the same AH or hrefs, but all the text and anchors texts are different. I just always wonder what the hell you're doing, baby. Mark is scratching his head. Look.
No, because I have no idea what he's talking about. So he has 20 press releases, 2 links in each press release. What does hrefs have to do with anything?
I think he's talking about URLs, the same 2 URLs in every press release, but different anchor text.
So you're hammering the same URL directly with the 20 press releases?
Yeah, I think that's what he's saying. The same 2 links in every single PR, but they each have different anchor text in each instance.
So you have 20 press releases, and supposing that those 20 only have what, a distribution of 150 sites each. Now you're talking about 3,000 websites potentially linking back to those 2 pages from those press releases, or to that page. Is that what you're saying? I have no idea what you're saying.
Yeah.
Even if the anchor text is different, you're still hammering the same page.
Yeah.
That's unnatural as hell.
I agree. I totally agree. I mean, I wouldn't do that. And again, I'm always curious as to why, because you've got some interesting questions, BB, and it would be nice to have some context as to why these questions about using, building links from the same handful of domains. We went through weeks of questions about how many links can you get from one specific domain before they're not, beneficial. And now this is similar, right? It's kind of in the same neighborhood of that type of a question. And again, I wouldn't recommend it.
I don't like to speculate. They're asking, or BB's asking us to speculate how Google would treat it. There's no telling. You might get hammered, you might not. That's the best I can give you from that supposition question.
And not only that, but we just talked to Marco, just talked about the press release stacking, and that's really the best way that we found to do it. And in fact, I just started implementing. Marco and I have done the PR stacking slightly different, but based upon Marco's recommendation, he is absolutely the better SEO. So I've been doing it another way for quite some time, but within just the last couple of weeks, I started implementing his specific PR stack method, which is just using 2 links as opposed to 3 in each PR. And I'm waiting to see the results come in from that. But yeah, I mean, it's much better to just create a link wheel with your press releases and link from one press release to the previous press release in that chain, right? To create that daisy chain, that link wheel effect. And that way, like your initial press release, the top of the stack would be linking to your money site page, but all the subsequent press releases in that silo stack, they don't link back to that money page at all. They link to the previous press release and maybe one of your other tier 1 entity assets, but that's it. 2 links per press release. And not, so you're not constantly hitting the same, your money site with the same, press releases over and over and over again, because what you're doing is you're using one press release with the link back to your money site page, and then you're stacking press releases to link back to that original press release, and you can build so much power and relevancy that way. And I think that's the better way to do it. That's a hell of a lot more natural looking for your money site than to keep hammering away at the same 2 URLs over and over and over again with the same PR distribution network over and over and over again, if that makes sense. So.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say it again. I don't even recommend hitting the money site with a press release unless you really know what you're doing and you've really created.
I do it all the time. Yeah.
But you need to create a good pillow, and you need to know what you're doing. What we actually tell you is extend your SEO shield, get that extension, get that inner page on that G site and that inner drive stack, and then aim the press release at that, which is then focusing on the top level category on the inner page in your website. Everything is mirrored. You can even mirror that category partially with your press releases. And now what you're doing is you're amplifying the effect. I mean, you can get really good results if you go to one of your website pages from the press release. but you better know what you're doing, because it's going to get a lot of power. Once you start blasting those press releases with link building, it's going to get a lot of power to that page from that silo, from that press release stack.